Hidden within the folds of history lies a relic that has fascinated, mystified, and divided scholars and believers alike: the Shroud of Turin. Shrouded in mystery, this ancient linen has evoked awe and controversy for centuries. Is it the burial cloth of Jesus Christ, an elaborate medieval forgery, or something else entirely? Join us as we journey through centuries of intrigue, discovery, and debate to unravel the mysteries of the Shroud. The beginning of the Shroud's story. The story of the Shroud begins in the heart of Judea over 2,000 years ago, during a time of Roman rule and profound religious upheaval. Believed by many to be the burial cloth of Jesus Christ, the Shroud is said to have wrapped his body after the crucifixion. According to legend, this sacred linen bore a miraculous image of Christ's face and body, an imprint that has inspired awe and wonder across generations. But how did this artifact, tied to such a pivotal moment in history, survive the ravages of time? Judea, during the time of Jesus, was a land marked by cultural intersections and religious fervor. It was under Roman occupation, yet deeply rooted in Jewish traditions. The crucifixion of Jesus marked a turning point in history and faith, and the Shroud is believed to have played a significant role in that narrative. According to accounts, the linen was wrapped around Jesus' lifeless body after his crucifixion. When the tomb was found empty 3 days later, the Shroud remained, bearing a faint but striking image of a man, an image that would become the subject of devotion and debate. The Shroud's journey to Edessa. From Jerusalem, the Shroud's journey led it to Edessa, an ancient city located in modern-day Turkey. Here it became known as the Lion, a sacred relic revered for its supposed divine origins. In Edessa, it was shrouded in local legends, including one claiming that it healed King Abgar of leprosy. This tale tells of how King Abgar, suffering from a debilitating illness, wrote to Jesus seeking healing. According to the story, Jesus sent a cloth bearing his image, which cured the king. This cloth, many believe, was the Shroud of Turin. The Lion was enshrined in Edessa and became a cornerstone of local Christian lore. Its reputation grew as a miraculous object, drawing pilgrims and reinforcing the faith of believers. Over time, it came to symbolize divine intervention and the power of Christ's resurrection. But how it transitioned from being the Lion in Edessa to the Shroud known today remains a topic of speculation and debate. Arrival in Constantinople. The Shroud's journey continued, and it eventually made its way to Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. Here, it was enshrined as a symbol of the Passion of Christ. The Byzantines held the Shroud in the highest regard, viewing it as a sacred relic that connected them directly to the life and death of Jesus. Artists began depicting Christ with features resembling the image on the Shroud, further entwining the artifact with Christian iconography. In Constantinople, the Shroud's presence was both a source of religious inspiration and political power. It was displayed during holy ceremonies, drawing crowds of the faithful. However, its journey was fraught with mystery. During the Fourth Crusade in 1204, Constantinople was sacked by Western European forces. Amidst the chaos, the Shroud disappeared. Its whereabouts during the subsequent centuries remain one of the greatest mysteries of its history, fueling endless speculation among historians and believers. The Shroud's reappearance in France. Centuries later, the Shroud resurfaced in France, marking the beginning of its modern history. By the 14th century, it was in the possession of the de Charny family, who displayed it in the small town of Lirey. Pilgrims flocked to see the relic, awestruck by its mysterious image. However, questions about its authenticity emerged almost immediately. Local clergy debated its origins, with some marveling at its miraculous qualities and others questioning its provenance. One of the earliest recorded challenges to the Shroud's authenticity came in 1389. Bishop Pierre d'Arcis wrote to Pope Clement VII, alleging that the Shroud was a painted forgery. According to the bishop, investigations by his predecessors had revealed the artist responsible for creating the image. This claim cast a shadow over the Shroud, leading to skepticism that persists to this day. Despite these accusations, the faithful continued to revere the Shroud, and its reputation as a sacred object endured. The Shroud's final journey to Turin. In 1578, the shroud found its permanent home in Turin, Italy. It was housed in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, where it remains to this day. The House of Savoy, one of Europe's oldest royal families, became the shroud's custodians, further elevating its status. Pilgrims traveled from around the world to Turin, seeking a glimpse of the enigmatic relic. Despite its revered status, the shroud's journey raises more questions than it answers. How did it survive centuries of wars, plunder, and natural disasters? What explains the faint, ghostly image that has captivated millions? These mysteries continue to inspire both faith and skepticism, drawing scientists, historians, and theologians into an ongoing quest for answers. Early investigations and artistic theories. As the shroud's fame grew, so did the fascination with its origins. For early Christians, it was more than an artifact. It was a tangible connection to the resurrection of Christ, a miracle captured in linen. The image on the shroud was considered proof of divine intervention, an imprint beyond human comprehension. The first scientific investigations of the shroud began in the 14th century. Scholars and clergy examined the linen, noting its unique properties. The faint image of a man, his body marked by wounds consistent with crucifixion, seemed almost otherworldly. Was this the imprint of divinity, or the work of an extraordinary artist? Theories emerged that the shroud's image was inspired by Byzantine art, known for its elongated figures and spiritual expressions. Skeptics proposed that the shroud was a deliberate creation, crafted to inspire faith and awe. These interpretations laid the groundwork for centuries of investigation. Bishop Pierre d'Arcis and the forgery allegation. The shroud's authenticity faced its first major challenge in 1389, when Bishop Pierre d'Arcis wrote to Pope Clement VII. He alleged that the shroud was a painted forgery, crafted to deceive the faithful. The bishop's claims were based on investigations conducted by his predecessors, who reportedly identified the artist responsible for the shroud's creation. Critics argued that the shroud's proportions and details were too deliberate to be miraculous. The faint, ghostly image, they claimed, was evidence of a skilled hand rather than divine intervention. Despite these early criticisms, the shroud's allure endured. It became a symbol of faith and mystery, transcending its challenges. Modern science and the shroud. As science advanced, the shroud entered a new era of scrutiny. In 1978, the Shroud of Turin Research Project, STURP, conducted an extensive investigation, bringing modern tools and methods to bear on the ancient linen. Their findings were both fascinating and inconclusive. The image on the shroud, they concluded, was not painted, dyed, or burned. Yet its origins remained a mystery. In 1988, radiocarbon dating was conducted on a small sample of the shroud. The results dated the linen to the medieval period, between 1260 and 1390. This finding seemed to confirm the forgery theory, but questions about the sample's contamination and representativeness cast doubt on the results. Some researchers argued that the tested sample was from a later repair, not the original cloth. The mystery endures. The Shroud of Turin continues to captivate the world. For believers, it is a sacred relic, a tangible connection to the Passion of Christ. For skeptics, it is a fascinating artifact, a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring power of faith. Whether viewed through the lens of religion, history, or science, the shroud remains one of the most enigmatic objects in human history. Its mysteries inspire ongoing research and debate. Advanced imaging techniques, chemical analyses, and historical investigations seek to unravel the shroud's secrets. Yet, the more we learn, the more questions seem to arise. Is the shroud a relic of Christ's burial, a medieval masterpiece, or something else entirely? Perhaps its true significance lies not in its origins, but in its ability to inspire awe, curiosity, and a sense of the divine. The story of the Shroud of Turin is far from over. As new discoveries emerge and new theories are proposed, humanity's fascination with this ancient linen continues to grow. Whether a miracle, a masterpiece, or a mystery, the shroud remains a symbol of the enduring quest for truth and faith.